Welcome back to Epiphany Health, a place that empowers you to take charge of your health. Now, just very quickly, if you haven't already done so, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you do not miss out on any future content. And please share this video because I'm on a mission to help as many people as possible to lose weight and to improve their health. Please help me get this information out. Now also, please give this video a like if you find this information useful because it motivates me to continue to make more content just like this. In my last video, I explored the many benefits of fasting, and I also promised to document my own 72-hour fast and to post it right here. Now, if you missed my previous video on the benefits of fasting, I have put a link to it in the comments below. Day 0 was on a Sunday, and I had my last meal around about 7 p.m. Now, you typically do not want to eat a large meal right before a fast, otherwise you'll wake up very hungry the next morning. Now, it's kind of counterintuitive, I know, because you expect a big meal to keep you fuller for longer. But what it actually does is that it spikes your insulin levels, and that in turn plunges your blood sugar levels, which stimulates the production of ghrelin, the hunger hormone, which makes you feel famished as soon as you wake up. Also, because of this, you want to make sure that your last meal does not spike insulin, which means that it must be low in sugar and processed carbs. My last meal was a lamb stew, mixed vegetables, and a little bit of brown rice. It was a nice and small portion, just enough to fill me up. Now, I went to bed around 7 p.m., which is my normal bedtime, and this was me the next morning. So it's been 12 hours since my last meal, and I feel normal, really. I guess it's because on a normal day, I wouldn't have eaten my first meal anyway. So I don't feel hungry, I'm fine. It's a Monday, and I'm at work. And the plan is around about 1 p.m. when I typically have my first meal. I'm going to go out for a walk. The weather is lovely out, the sun is out. I'll go take a walk and go and chat to some friends so that I can distract myself a bit because I know I'm going to get a hunger bang around about 1 p.m. The only thing that I'm going to be drinking today is plain water. I'm just going to be drinking my water. Now the plan here is to sip it slowly throughout the day and to not chug it, because if you do that, then it passes right through you. And with it, it takes your electrolytes and you're going to feel lethargic, you're going to feel a little bit of a dip in energy levels. So I'm going to sip it slowly throughout the day, but I'm going to make sure I finish my bottle. Yeah, so I'll check in with you guys again after 24 hours and I'll let you know how I'm doing then. Cheers. Now, there was no real feedback there because, like I mentioned in the clip, on a normal day, I wouldn't have eaten my first meal anyways. So I felt quite normal there. Fasting is as much mental as it is physical. You have to prepare mentally that you will not be consuming food for a set amount of time and to acknowledge that it might get a little bit difficult along the way, and then promise yourself that you're going to see it through. I recorded a video again on day 2 of the fast, and this is how I felt 36 hours into the fast. So it's been 36 hours since my last meal, and I feel okay. I'm fine. But last night was really tough, I won't lie. When I got home from work last night, I was feeling very hungry and my body wanted to eat. But what made things worse as well, I think, is because I still had to cook for my family. So I made a whole meal that I could not touch. But afterwards, I went to my room, I read a book, I did some meditation, and I went to sleep. And funny enough, I had a very restful sleep. It was very nice. And I woke up just before my alarm this morning, well rested, and I feel much better this morning. I think my body has made peace with the fact that food is not coming. So, energy levels normal, if not better. I'm well rested and I'm fine. I can go another 36 hours. So we're halfway through now, another 36 hours to go. In hindsight, I think what I should have done is prepped for my meals for my family beforehand so that I don't spend too much time at the stove looking at food because that obviously makes it worse. Now your stomach is growling, your stomach is producing stomach acids in anticipation for the meal. But yeah, I will try that next time. And then when I do feel a hunger pang coming on, all I do is I take some deep breaths, close my eyes, and I visualize my body feeding on the fat cells that are currently stored in my body. You know, those juicy, yummy fat cells that I have all over the place. And eventually the hunger pang passes and I feel better. But I'll keep you updated, tell you how I feel at every stage. But today, this morning, I feel well. I feel brilliant. I'll keep you posted. The first day of a prolonged fast is usually the most brutal. Your body will typically be putting up a fight to get you to eat more carbs for it to burn for energy, because it is the energy source that it's used to, and it's easier to access and easier to convert to energy. Now, think of glucose like small dry twigs, and fat is a nice thick log. Now, the twigs, they're easier to start a fire with, but they also burn off quickly and they need constant replenishment. The log, in comparison, may take time to set alight, but when you get it going, it provides steady and consistent heat without constant attention and constant replenishment. Now, if you're already in ketosis and you're already burning fat for energy, day one will not be as bad for you because the switch over from glucose burning to fat burning would have already happened for you. But I wasn't on the keto diet at this time, so I didn't have it easy at all. Now, the switch over from burning glucose for energy to burning fat takes a little bit of resistance from the body, and it doesn't always feel good. But when it eventually happens, it's usually smooth sailing from there. Now, day two is usually the honeymoon phase of the fast because the fat burning switch has been flipped on at this point and the hunger pangs virtually disappear. You have a general sense of well-being and you feel great, and your brain feels switched on and your energy levels are all the way up. And also all the benefits of fasting are now fully online at this point, and you will definitely be feeling it. Now, day two was really great for me. I felt awesome. And the next video was taken on the morning of day three, and here's how I felt after 60 hours of no food. So this is me 60 hours after my last meal, and I'm still standing. So my energy levels this morning, they dipped a bit, and that's possibly because my electrolyte levels have taken a nosedive. I have not been replenishing. I've just been drinking plain water, so I think that is why. But other than that, I feel amazing. I had a good night's sleep. I slept like a baby. It was wonderful. I'm totally well rested and I'm ready to face the day. Last night I cooked for my family as usual. The hunger pangs were not there, funny enough. I didn't feel too hungry like I did the night before. Even today, my hunger is completely gone. Like, I could go another 36 hours if I wanted to. I do not feel hungry at all. My stomach is settled, and I'm fine. I'm going on it's like a steady energy level, you know? And I feel like I could go on like this for a couple of more days if needed. But I am breaking my fast today at around 7 in the evening. That will mark 72 hours officially. And I'll post my meal, my first meal that I use to break my fast. I will need to be very deliberate about picking things that are nourishing. You know, I need to eat a balanced meal to try and replenish as much of my electrolytes and my vitamins and minerals as I can so that I don't suffer from deficiencies. Now, by day 3, your electrolyte levels have taken a dip and your energy levels also start to take a nosedive. If you want to, you can start adding a little bit of sea salt to your water to try and replenish and rebalance the lost electrolytes, and this will help you with energy levels. But for me, salt water makes me nauseous, so I just take the energy dip like a champ and I soldier on. Like I mentioned previously, refeeding after a fast is very important. I had spent 3 days without food, so I needed to be sure that I replenish my proteins, my electrolytes, my vitamins and minerals as best as I could. And this is what I had for dinner. I use a side plate for my food because the fullness of the plate is like an optical illusion for my brain. It gives me a sense of a full plate of food, and consequently I feel full on a smaller portion of food. Now, another thing that happens after a prolonged fast is that your sense of taste becomes heightened. Now, that beetroot on that plate, it legit tasted like candy. It tasted so good. And the avocado and the chicken were so flavorful and so delicious. My taste buds were just in heaven. My stomach had obviously shrunk a bit over the 3 days, so I was very careful not to overfeed, as this would lead to stomach disturbances and acid reflux. Now, you only need to eat until you're full. Pushing past satiety is never a good idea. Now, all in all, I lost a total of 2.1 kgs and about 3 centimeters around my waist, which was awesome, but it was never really the goal for me. I fast for the myriad of health benefits that fasting provides. The weight loss is just a welcome side effect. Now, please note that if you're on medication, especially diabetes and blood pressure medication, you need to consult your doctor before trying a prolonged fast. Because now fasting naturally lowers your blood pressure as well as your blood sugar levels. So if you're taking medications as well, your levels may plunge a little too low. And this is for the ladies. I would advise against fasting during your period, because not only is it very difficult to do, it exerts too much stress on your body with all the hormonal surges that will be taking place at this time. Now, be very gentle with yourself during that time of the month. All right, I hope I have inspired someone to try fasting. And please comment down below if you're already on a fasting regimen. Share your experiences and inspire someone to take charge of their health. See you in the next one.